Today on the Great White Shark Experience podcast, we are joined by Jean, a Mossel Bay local who isn't naturally somebody who embraces the ocean lifestyle. Jean has been persuaded to see the sharks on a number of occasions and has an interesting non-shark person perspective from outside the shark world looking in. Today we talk about Jean's life in Mossel Bay, how he ended up interacting with the sharks, and his opinion on a wide range of sharky topics. Well, cheers, Jean.
Oh, wait, cheers, Mark.
Welcome to the Great White Shark Experience podcast. I feel like I laugh at the beginning of every single one of these.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a while.
I love that shirt, mate. I love it. I feel like you're the first person who's come on in like tropical vibes, putting Mossel Bay in there.
Who would have said it's the middle of winter?
Middle of winter. Yeah, but it feels oceany. Like, this is
the most oceany you're gonna get me, bro.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, yeah, that actually brings me to my opening point and how you're a local to Mossel Bay, or you have been for
a couple of years. Born here, lived here till I was 9, and then came back in I think 2012, 2011.
Yeah,
and yeah.
But then you, it was only recently you actually came out to see the Great Whites, and and beforehand chain smoked heavily before getting on the boat.
Well, I mean, humans are made to thrive on land. So, like, you don't fuck with the ocean. Like, I mean, it's there, it's scenic. You go sit on the beach, you watch the wave crash, and, like, that's that. And then I actually met Valerie, that I think she was on the podcast before. Mm-hmm. And she worked here at Great White Shark. Great White Africa.
White Shark Africa.
White Shark. White Shark Africa.
That's the one.
And like we became friends, and she told me like, no, you have to see these sharks and everything. I was like, okay, fine. Took a while to get on the boat actually. Like kept delaying it, postponing it. Like
maybe next week.
And like what really caught me was when she said, "There's no smoking on the boat."
Oh, it's a 4-hour trip, eh?
It is a 4-hour trip.
It's a long time for a smoker.
Yeah, especially an addicted one. And I think like then when we were walking from the intern house down to the shop before we went on the boat, I was just like,
whole packet. Get the second one.
And because I mean, I was nervous, but I always knew if I'm gonna be on the boat, I'm definitely going in the cage.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna go on the boat and just look at it from above. I'm gonna get the full-blown experience. And I really wanted to inch you on that boat, that's for sure. As we were getting closer to the island, I was like, oh, just getting closer.
Did you have sharks? You had sharks on there?
Yeah, we had sharks.
Yeah.
I think it was a good trip, a couple of sharks. I can't remember the sizes of it, but I think they were close to the 2-meter mark.
When was that? 2019? 2018. Yeah, so the sharks were still cooking back then.
We didn't have orca problems yet.
Orca issues.
Well, I mean, orca benefits depending on who you ask.
Perspective.
Yeah, it's all about perspective.
Not here.
Remember land, my friend. But
everyone says that, but I actually feel more comfortable in or near the sea. Like I think that's like a human thing, is it not? Supposedly you get, I don't know, I read a study and you supposedly you feel calmer and happier when you get a certain amount of sea in your life per day, like just visual sea per day. I don't know, that's very woolly, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not much to go on there.
It's broad as well. Vitamin C? Yeah, get enough vitamin C, your life's going to be better. I mean, it's all about how you see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I checked that first shark from the boat, not so much, just like amazement, like taken aback.
Yeah. And what was your perspective beforehand?
The ocean is this. Like, I mean,
leave them to it.
Yeah, they don't come on land. They don't come on the golf course and fuck with me. So why would I go in the ocean and fuck with them? Like, so let them do what they want to do that side. I mean, I think it was Trevor Noah, the comedian, that said like, people that go on about shark attacks is the equivalent of someone swimming in the sea is the equivalent of someone skateboarding through the jungle. I mean, and then making an issue of a lion attacks. Like, you're in their territory. You're like, it's what they do. It's
where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not where we're supposed to be.
You're not a surfer then?
No. I like the look of the surfer, and I think the vibe of them as well. Like carefree.
Got the lifestyle, but not in the ocean.
got the lifestyle, not the board.
Have the shirt, but just sit on the beach.
Just pretend and like, the waves aren't lacquer. Not today, you know?
Not today, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
just like the shark cage diving. Not this week, maybe next week.
Yeah, the weather looks cuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not great today.
Yeah, and it's 4 hours.
It is a long time, but it's one of those, isn't it? If the sharks turn up, they're there for...
Yeah,
it can be a 2-hour trip.
Yeah,
because you did a second trip with your brother, didn't you? And
I think
we struggled. I think that was late 2019. We battled getting the sharks there.
Yeah, then it gets tedious.
And then that's when you want a cigarette.
And you're grasping at straws. It feels like, because I would say it's kind of the same. The one year we went to Vilanculos in Mozambique to go fishing, and this guy, it was a friend of my dad's, and all he wanted to do was like catch marlin. And that was the whole trip. So we go out early in the morning, out on the boat, and we're just looking for fish and looking for marlin. And I actually made the joke to my brothers, like, fishing is very similar to bird watching, because you'd see birds on the ocean, it's like, there's a fish, and then we'd race to there, and then there's 4 fish. And then we'd just float around again, it's like, there's birds, we race over there. And it was kind of the same as just waiting for the sharks to come. Luckily they did. Luckily we got some experience with it. Yeah. And but it's an interesting experience.
Some would say that about golf though. So some would say everyone. So some guys have fishing, some guys have shark diving, some guys have golf. Yeah. That's literally watching grass grow. The only sport more boring to watch is cricket.
Yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. Test cricket, you got me there.
It's 5 days. Stop for tea and biscuits.
Yeah, it's like...
That's not a sport. I just stop for food in the sport.
Yeah, you got tea, lunch, and supper, I think. No. Yeah. Golf is you're at least active. I mean, you're still doing stuff. You're still keeping your mind, stimulated. I mean, when you're standing there with a fishing rod, and I mean, it's not like you reel in. Like golf, you hit, walk, hit.
Yeah, but it's the suspense, isn't it? There's only so much suspense you can have.
Yeah, I mean, well, for me personally, not a vibe.
Not my type. Not your bag.
Yeah, so to the people that don't want to fish, let them do it so I don't have to do it. That's how I see it.
Oh, shame, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, you've been a local. Your dad kite surfs here, doesn't he?
He kite
surfs. Has he never had any interesting?
He's told me once in Kleinbrak, he was kite surfing, and there was people. I don't know if they were fishermen on a boat or from the coast, and he was doing his thing, doing the jumps and everything, and then he just saw these people wave at him the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, these people are friendly, and waves back. And he does one jump and he looks down and he just sees a white shark, great white shark under him. And then he's like, fucking try to keep yourself in the air as long as you can. Now you don't want to fall, definitely. And then he was like, that was probably the one experience that he had with it. And
never really since.
Yeah, I asked him, wasn't he scared or anything? It's just just don't go in the water. And if you fall, get up as soon as possible. But then again, you see the sharks breaching. So are you really ever safe?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though, isn't it? Mossel Bay's never, I mean, apart from in the late 90s, I think there was technically an attack, but it was a lady who went scuba diving at that island, which is notoriously poor visibility. Yeah. And she was sat at the surface. Mm. I mean, that's their hunting ground.
Yeah.
You're in a black wetsuit. You're at the surface in poor visibility. I mean, it's not a sensible move.
You're not really making it easy for yourself.
But then the amount of people that surf in Mossel Bay, the amount of people that swim in Mossel Bay, for nothing to have happened really since then. I mean, there was something at Glentano with a surfer, but that's out of Mossel Bay. Yeah. It's on the way out. So.
Yeah, no, but that's why I'm I don't actually have a qualm with sharks at all. I mean, I know the probability of you experiencing shark encounters, not attack, as in a shark encounter, is slim. And I mean, if it happens, like I say, you're in their house. It's like you go trespassing in someone else's property and they shoot you. You can't be like, oh, why'd you shoot me? It's like, why are you on my property?
Why are you walking through my garden?
Yeah, with the mask and everything.
Oh, fuck. Negative shark encounter. That's what it's supposed to be. Oh, yesy though. Jeez, I just had a... So, apparently I've just been decapitated. Or nearly decapitated by a great white shark. This is a fun one. So, one of my clips did pretty well on Facebook. So, I've always kind of understood that I'm going to have to work with the media at some point.
Yeah.
To certain degrees. So, all these media outlets, like, got this one clip. And, like, to be fair, the one clip was like this semi-breech, teeth, all those kind of things. And they wanted to do a piece. Now... To start with, I was like, not a chance. no, not going to happen. Because I knew exactly where this was going to go.
Yeah, you're going to have to write the article for it, basically.
Anyway, this one lady approaches me and she says, like, we really want to write an article with this clip. Can we do it? And I was like, look, I don't really want to do shark attack stories. Not really my jam. So I'd rather not. And she said, well, I'll tell you what. We'll give you the questions, write the copy. And then we'll just submit that and then go from there. I was like, that's fair enough.
Okay.
Answer all the questions, like loads of lines of like conservation, 11,000 sharks an hour, all these things. A few weeks later, jaws of death, fucking killing people. Oh, this narrow survivor. Oh, all the things you can imagine. So I was like, right, that didn't work. So had a swift word with the lady.
An email session.
A little email session with the lady. She was like, yeah, no, really sorry. Like the newspaper's like going along with it. So she finds another clip. She finds two clips. Another one, teeth. I'm like,
full on action.
I'm like, not falling for that one again. And then anyway, the second one was this shark just coming towards the camera, nuzzling the camera, little mouth, and then it disappears. I was like, how bad can they do? What can they do with that?
It's just like a cat nibbling at your fingers.
Just a cat nibbling, it disappears. Nothing. What can they possibly say? Write the copy out, conservation lines, all the bits. Man nearly gets decapitated in the water with GoPro on his head. I'm like, I wasn't even in the water. I did not say that. Creative freedom's one thing, but no, it's getting crazy now. So,
but I think it is difficult with shark conservation that it is an uphill battle because of the negative light that has been shown on lights. Negative light that's been shown on sharks like for years now. I mean, there's already this negative connotation that you must have that like sharks are dangerous. If you're swimming in the ocean, they're gonna attack you, and like all of them are big as jaws, and they just like
trying to rip you to pieces. Well, that's why I mean they're mainly to blame. I mean everyone blames Jaws, but the newspapers are the worst thing, aren't they? Mainstream aren't bloody.
Yeah, but like I mean it's. If I would have to relate it back to like lions as well, let's say lions or tigers or those type of predators. They also have this in movies like, the lion's going to attack you. Yeah. Yet you line up to go
see them,
pick them and like, I'm chilling with the lion cub. And then you have people in America with that Tiger King thing where people actually have them as pets.
They do.
And then there's copious stories about how these animals just have the natural instinct kicked in and like
owner's gone.
The owner's gone. And then
they do it in Dubai a lot as well now, don't they?
Yeah.
All these like leopards and tigers and lions.
So like I think that's where sharks are kind of unlucky. Yeah. Because
lucky or unlucky. Yeah, at least they can't be used as pets.
Can't be used as pets, but like now you have the situation like in Egypt a couple of weeks ago where the shark attacked and then they attacked the shark.
Yeah.
And they killed the shark and like I don't know how they know that was a specific shark. They saw it from a mile away. Yeah. And so...
Yeah, they dragged it out and like beat the hit it with sticks and it didn't have wasn't a nice day. It's crazy, isn't it? Like,
so like, I mean, that's why with media you have to be super careful because as you said, they're easy to misconstrue words or situations or stories. And they have to sell it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, they do have to sell a paper. But yes, man. Have some creativity. It's the same one every time.
They could have easily spun. This is a shark from Baby Shark.
See, there you go. There's your headline.
Easy.
See, creative director, right there.
Baby Shark live action.
I like that.
I mean, they did it with Lion King.
Where did Daddy Shark go?
Daddy Shark went to go buy milk. And never came back. Yeah.
Irony is, that's true. The shark will.
Yeah.
The problem is, Mummy Shark also goes to buy milk and doesn't come back.
So you basically time you see our island is like an orphanage. Full of
I haven't thought of it like that, but yeah, it basically
yeah.
is. It's like you know when those crazy people just abandon a house with dogs in, leave a bunch of food, and then hope for the best and leave.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. They dump the kids at the McDonald's and off they go.
Cheers. And a coupon for like a couple free meals.
Free meals, yeah. Well, they're born living, swimming, so they're born fully teeth out, ready to go.
Yeah, you just
So yeah, just
catch some baby seals.
go on. There's your all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah.
Have a fun life.
Put it on my tab.
I think it must be weird if you give birth as like a great white shark, like you give birth to live young,
Yeah.
you dump them and go. Like it just must be like an uncomfortable poo. Like you don't even know. You grow in them, you get big, and then you dump them. And
all of a sudden you're swimming faster. Like, God.
That's a relief. And then you're off.
Aerodynamic all of a sudden.
What?
Yeah.
There's no maternal instinct. They don't stick around.
Really? So it's really just like...
Dump and go. There's, I don't know, 5 or 6 more
Sure.
sharks in the ocean. And they're like 1.5 to 1.8 meters usually. So they're big.
Not fresh out the mother.
Yeah. Dump and go.
How big does a mother get then?
Big. Like they get pretty swollen. Everyone thought Deep Blue was pregnant. The the one that Ocean Ramsey swam with.
Like on that Instagram post or...
Yeah, the lady who's freediving
Yeah.
with it, yeah. So that was like a big girthy.
What's your take on that? Because I find like I can be...
I get why people don't like it. I'm not really like a touchy animal person, so
Yeah.
like I wouldn't naturally go that way anyway. However, like she's played like everyone hates her. Everyone who's hating on her. Okay, so this is how I say it. The scales are way off balance. Like they're hating on her because they don't want to be diving, to be posting it online, to get all this notoriety for free diving with a great white shark. They think everybody else is going to then jump in and do it themselves and get hurt. And they also think she's doing it for the wrong reasons. It's not for shark conservation, it's for
Personal gain.
It's for personal gain. Okay, that aside, those same people who are complaining about her are not then complaining about little Johnny holding a fucking shark in their hand after he's been on a fishing trip. So which is better, the lady who swam with it or the guys ripping him out the ocean to do it?
Yeah.
And that's in like how many guys' Tinder profiles these days? Like, I don't fucking
I don't
Facebook
know,
pages.
I don't swipe on guys, my friend.
Yeah, that was a fuck up. So, but my point is like, shark stories. There's probably been a handful of positive shark stories over the last fucking 10 years. Like, she was one of them, and she got notoriety around the world in a fairly positive way. Like, instant reaction when you saw that was like, wow, that's pretty fucking amazing. Like, fair enough. I know a lot of scientists hate it, but a lot of those scientists have also worked their entire lives doing research that's never seen the light of day. And also, so a massive part of this game is communication. And if you can communicate effectively, like she did, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she's a great scientist. I don't know if she is. I don't know if she's a great person, but like, and yes, there probably was some personal gain there. But that's the game we're playing in now. This is the social media age, and the news isn't doing the right job. The science side of things isn't doing enough of a job. The politicians isn't going in the right direction. They're just getting overfished. So, like, I don't understand why there's so much hate. Okay. And I think if it was anybody else, say it was some like geeky scientist who'd done it, there wouldn't have been half the notoriety. I think because it was a beautiful blonde girl that was freediving with a great white shark, and it hit the newspapers, and she got a lot of notoriety for it. Everybody came out to blast and hate, and like I'm not going to advocate for riding great white sharks. I'm not going to advocate for touching them, And I don't, to be fair, she probably shouldn't have. However, the scales are way off balance for the amount of hate she got.
Yeah, because I was also thinking, like, there's the pros and the cons. Like you say, the fact that people might think, okay, now everyone thinks they can swim with great white sharks.
Yeah, which hasn't come to fruition, by the way.
Which luckily,
shark diving's gone up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are incidents in shark diving, but there always has been. But the people aren't getting munched because they're now jumping in with great whites and...
Yeah, but I think the positive of it was to show him, like, okay, if you're going to be next to a great white shark, every encounter isn't going to be that there is peaceful. It's possible that the shark can be peaceful at that time.
And that's what she did. She just shone a light on the fact that great white sharks aren't man-eating monsters. Mm. There's a lady swimming with a giant, one of the biggest... That was another thing. It was probably one of the biggest great white sharks that's alive today. Sure. And like, you don't very often see great white sharks that size. So for her to have swum with that shark just made it even more iconic, because like it could have been a small great white, it could have been a mid-sized great white, and she probably still would have hit the news.
Yeah, but not as effective.
But one of the biggest great whites, that's iconic.
How big was that great white?
And for all those people who are hating, if you're going to sit there and tell me if you wouldn't have taken a picture whilst you were swimming with it, if you were going to swim with it, bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, yeah, it's one of those. Like, people love to hate. People love negativity. And I think you have to choose to be positive. And I think, yeah, you can blast it. You could have the conversation with her and ask her. But, like, in this game, if you're, especially for a company and everything like that, and whatever she wants to do conservation-wise, she has a platform now. Yeah. Whereas the people who are hating...
They're still struggling in the back scenes. Like...
Oh, most of them, I don't know. There's lots of shark politics and people hating and all those kind of fucking... The shark whale's a viper pit. It's a shark pit.
It's a shark pit, yeah.
But yeah. It's more dangerous out the water than in it.
I'm going swimming now.
I'm swimming now.
Yeah, for sure, man.
No, yeah.
No, but like it is bad because, as you say, with the social media, it is the most effective way to get everything out and like to get your point across effectively, as you say. But I mean, it just opens the doors for so much, because I think the jealousy also plays in a big part of it. Because, as you say, there's so many people that have been doing years of studies that haven't gotten the recognition that they should have gotten. Yeah. And now all of a sudden it's this person just swims with it. They're like, but they didn't put in the hours that I put in. I didn't reap the rewards of something that's a lot more, let's say, educational,
beneficial for sharks, yeah.
And they don't reap the rewards, and now they're just slagging off on the one person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is one of those. And a lot of people like claim that it was done for like vanity reasons and all those kind of things. And well, I mean, she's definitely, regardless of what anybody says, I know she's done things since, or supposedly done things since, that have ruffled up a few feathers. But if you're starting a business and you're trying to make your business and make your name, you're never not going to.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, you don't know how much stock to put in it, because everybody's got rumours, everybody's hating. Yeah. And even we just did Sardine Run. We got complaints about us that weren't even real. So
how'd you get the complaints then?
So it was another company who basically said that we were doing something wrong, but there was no other company there, and the thing that they said we were doing wrong was physically impossible because there was no other boats with us.
Yeah, okay.
So it was kind of like a... How did you get that one?
Crabs pulling each other down.
Ah, well, no, it's one of those. Yeah. Everyone's trying to like...
Yeah, but isn't there that analogy of crabs in a barrel? The one starts like climbing out, the other would like grab it down.
Maybe.
You're not escaping.
Oh, is
We're
it?
all fucking dying together.
Well, yeah, that's exactly the point, yeah.
I think so. I could be corrected, but...
I like it. Let's run with it. If it's not a thing, it's a thing now. Crabs in a barrel.
Title of the podcast. Yeah. Crabs in a barrel.
Yeah. But is this your podcast debut?
I think I might carry on from this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you going to do a few more? I think so. You've got a good chat.
Yeah. Like we'll just plan it out better next time.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff that I'm actually knowledgeable about. Because
Okay,
remember, everything about sharks that I've said is just my opinion. It is an uneducated perspective from a person that believes humans should be on land.
There's no backtracking now. You've said it. It's out. It's in the universe.
No, I'm just making sure it's taken with the asterisks. Like, I mean,
Quotes, quotes.
you just told me about the media misconstrued words and shit like that. Now,
Oh yeah,
all of a
I'm going to
sudden-
edit this. It's all going to be twisted. now.
Yeah, Mossel Bay local hates sharks,
Oh, I could paint that picture.
and he doesn't even surf.
Oh, but I don't know. So by trade, you're an accountant. You don't. Yeah, wildly different than like being on the ocean.
Yeah, wildly different.
Yeah.
I must say, there's a couple of times that I look out the window and I see the beautiful day. I'm like, yeah, I could have been would have rather been on a boat.
Yeah.
But when there's days that the weather's cocked, the sea's choppy.
Choppy.
And like,
You know people are puking on there.
And I mean, I think every job has its
Pros and
ups
cons.
and downs.
Yeah.
I think it's tough. I mean, work stays work.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think you're very lucky if you find a job that actually makes you completely happy.
Yeah.
I think there's far and few people that can actually say they're validly
Yeah. I guess so.
happy.
Yeah.
But so accountant just was my best subject at school, and I kind of just needed to find a way to stay in university.
Yeah.
And accounting was the thing to go.
So.
Law didn't work out.
So your original one was wanted to be a lawyer. Backup was an accountant.
Wanted to be a lawyer. Did my first year at Stellenbosch. Didn't go according to the plan that I had. And then kind of just needed to find a way to...
Ulof, that guy called Ulof got involved,
I was and
Or was his name Clipdrift? I can't remember.
I was Ulof for sure. And but I mean, I think also the fact that it was cheaper back then. The syntax wasn't as high as it is now. And so yeah, it didn't go according to plan. Didn't get enough credits, and then they're like, okay, why you shouldn't come back next year. I'm like, but
Let's hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Let's not be rash.
I mean, if you look at my matric marks or grade 12 marks, languages was never my strong suit. So maybe I just wasn't educationally inclined to be a lawyer. Look at my accounting, got a distinction for accounting. So I believe I just made, the only mistake I made was choosing law instead of accounting. My mistake wasn't that I passed.
So yeah.
Didn't pass accounting though. And like, I mean, I was like, strike three, this university can't take me anymore. And then I came back here to George, finished my studies here.
Yeah.
And like, now I'm an accountant. Been since 2019.
Smashing. Oh, that's all right. That no, good. Well, as long as you're enjoying it.
As long as it's paying me, bro.
As long as it gets you on the golf course.
As long as it gets me on the golf course, yeah.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing. But yeah, definitely, I enjoy it to an extent.
Yeah.
But definitely not a long-term goal. So maybe this podcast thing can...
I reckon you could have a future in podcasting.
Yeah.
We'll get your own setup.
Our way.
Yeah.
We can definitely make a plan. Yeah. We can co-host.
Okay. Let's see how we get on.
But then we're going to have to have a private account. You need to fill out a form before you can actually hear what we're saying. Or we need to be super rich so we don't care about the repercussions that get said.
Yeah, how are we doing that one then? Rated R.
Yeah. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
We'll find a way. Not for your children.
Give me the new Theo Von. That's what the shades were for.
Well, of course, it's what the shades are for. And just to spare you your podcast, I won't say some ridiculous shit that I've thought.
Oh, mate, do it.
I might want to show my parents this as well. So, you remember, Afrikaners were conservative, well-behaved, proper mannered, good values, morals are through the roof.
So what happened to you then?
Lived in Dubai for 6 years. Got experience to the rest of the world. Went to the American school and I was like,
Yeah, let's go now. Baller.
For sure. I mean, if you don't live with the morals and values and everything of Afrikaner, it's like living life on easier mode than if you would have to live with those.
And then still going to church on a Sunday. How's confession? You must be over the clock. Clocking in on overtime.
Good thing I'm not Catholic, because I think I would have had to reapply, get the new form out.
Born again.
Baptized.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
Every now and then I do make my turn at the church.
Yeah, well, as long as you get in.
Yeah.
I need a +1. Oh, shame, man.
My man, there's still time for you. Don't you worry.
I'm not sure.
Don't you worry, my friend.
But yeah.
Watch.
For now.
It's going to happen.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, that might be sooner than later if what you keep telling me about sharks comes true. Nah, they're alright. They're big puppies.
Yeah,
they're not so bad.
Because, I mean, the thing is...
I wonder if you're in that. Are you in any of these pictures?
No, I don't think so. I think I was cropped out. No, because, like, the thing is, when people actually experience a shark, like, it's definitely perception changing?
Yeah.
Perspective changing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when I went into the cage, like, yeah, it's intimidating, and it's like some stuff that gets your adrenaline going. But, I mean, when you see that shark, like, face to face, it's like, yo. And, I mean, it swims, and you don't see it until it's like 2-3 meters from the cage, and then you see it for that second where it might be going after the bait or just glides through, and then 1.5 meters, 2 meters away, it's gone.
Yeah. They come and go so fast, disappear.
It's spectacular. It's majestic, bro. It is definitely majestic. I think just because people aren't necessarily as exposed to it, that it doesn't get the same props that the land predators or so.
Yeah. Well, I think so. That's what Gibbs used to say. He used to say his hope for sharks was that they get the same sort of prowess as lions and tigers. The same sort of respect, because obviously they get
they're like
very different attitude towards those than sharks get.
They're like lions of the sea.
Yeah, that's it.
Just not the apex predator.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
and we found that out very abruptly this year.
Yeah.
Last year and the year before.
It's crazy. I mean, and I think that's also one part that shocked me is like, for years, like through your whole childhood growing up, like it's painted that sharks are king of the ocean. Sharks are the top of the food chain. I mean, and you look at orcas, they look so cuddly. They look like harmless. They're like...
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
they do.
I mean,
and Free Willy.
Yeah.
Who ever thought? Free Willy was the monster.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is like... So you realize like, okay, besides the human aspect of the danger that it provides to the sharks, like this shark is also just trying to survive. It's like, it's got a lot of problems. I mean,
I would look overfishing, bycatch, long lining, orcas, people.
Yeah, it's like it's
a tough world out there for a shark.
Yeah.
And your mum just dumps you and leaves you.
Yeah.
There's an Oliver Twist story right there.
Got mommy issues. Like, I wonder if there was some way to study the psyche of a shark. Like, would it ever just come back? It's like, Mama. Well, what's that Austin Powers? Daddy wasn't there to change my underwear, to take me to the fair.
Oh, I just did not see that one coming.
Daddy wasn't there. Meanwhile, the dad's like chilling in Australia, having the time of his life, bruh.
And Mummy's done a runner.
No kids.
And then, kids are like, So, oh well, seals.
Yeah, because like I saw somewhere on a shark program that like had 2 great whites tracked or like tagged and tracked them, and that they actually like swam from Africa to Australia, up about somewhere there in the ocean, and then like back in all the span of like, I think it was 18 months.
Yeah, they do quite quick.
Like, now I'm thinking, you come drop the kids in the danger zone. It's like your rite of passage. Survive, and you can like swim to Australia and like where there's no orcas or stuff like that.
It's like the ultimate survival test. If you don't, then tough luck,
Natural
kids.
selection. Natural selection at its finest.
It really is. But I suppose all the sharks that survived have never had to deal with the orcas. Well, not all of them. Maybe some of them do, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. Are your parents going to drop you in the hood or in the golf estate? I mean,
when you like anthropomorphize this and like actually make it a human experience, it sounds so cruel.
Yeah, it is. I mean, here's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Just don't get eaten.
Time is limited, my friend. Work on that sidestep.
You're not the only one who's eating from this buffet.
Yeah.
You're part of it.
Yeah, you're on the menu as well. You're there up for grabs as well. Just don't hope the orca dumps his kid. Yeah, it's like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a person getting a cat and then getting a dog as well.
Yeah, well, people do that.
Now the cat has to survive the dog. It's like Tom and Jerry.
It's good
get
to
a
watch.
mouse, cat, and dog. Like
food chain. There's the whole food chain. Oh shit, man.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy. But yeah, no. Sharks have a tough life. I wouldn't.
Sharks have a
I don't think I'd choose to be one, especially not right now in Mossel Bay.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be here.
No, I wouldn't be. I'd be on vacation somewhere. It's 5 weeks now.
5 weeks, no sharks.
No sharks.
They'll
be back.
Yeah, they'll be back.
I'm starting to get nervous that it's going to end up like False Bay now, where they don't come back.
But I mean, where do you think they go to next?
I mean, they're all up and down the coastline. They're all the way from here to Mozambique. Yeah, they get.
Isn't the water too hot there?
They're pretty sturdy. Like they have been seen in Mozambique, so it's not uncommon for them to be there. It's just they used to be in bigger numbers down here for the cold water, but clearly not now. I don't know.
I think what great whites, what also they're kind of unlucky is because they're the most famous shark.
Yeah.
But they're not the most aggressive or dangerous. I mean, the bull shark. I mean, the bull shark is the shark that probably kills the most people.
Well, I think shark attacks, actually, it's not even the bull shark. I think shark attacks technically it's oceanic white tips has the most on record. Which is, it's random. I don't even know that. Bull sharks have the most testosterone of any animal alive. So technically, and I think bull sharks have a very high rate of, higher than white sharks and tiger sharks. They're not, I mean, shark attacks, there wasn't even that, I think it was in the 20s, it wasn't that high, but then fatal in 2022 was 6, I believe.
Yeah?
Fatal shark attacks in 2022 was 6.
And those attacks were done by? Bull sharks, or
I think a mixture of different ones. And I don't know exactly. I think Florida has quite a high percentage of bull shark attacks. Yeah.
No, because they say they have the most testosterone, so they're most aggressive.
Those things are not necessarily correlated, but yeah, they.
I mean, it's like steroids, bro.
Well,
I mean, the person with the most steroids is going to get the most roid rage.
Well, if you put it like that,
some vitamin S in there.
I'll tell you what, you should talk to the scientists. Get this on paper because I think you're on something.
No, of course, and now I mean, bull sharks have terrible eyesight as well.
Don't tell anyone.
No, but bull sharks also have terrible eyesight, right? I think so. Like I think, I'm not sure. I think they have terrible eyesight. That. So they put the two together, like the aggression and.
They are doing something on Shark Week this year about low visibility with bull sharks and how they react. So it might be interesting to see how that goes.
So I think that's why they're the shark that you'd be more scared of than the great white.
Yeah, but there's bull sharks up and down this coast as well.
Yeah,
the biggest bull shark
in the river as well.
Breeder River, 3.5 meters, I think. It's big
I think
fucking shark.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not just like you're safe in the river. It's like the shark's coming to get you there as well.
Most great white shark people interactions are usually just
cordial,
fairly cordial, yeah.
Fairly cordial.
Like I mean, since drones have come out, you see them so frequently swimming in and around surfers and
there was
swimmers.
This clip in J Bay recently.
Yeah, in J Bay, and nothing happened. But then everyone remembers Kelly Slater the other year when. Yeah, well, he had a little interaction, altercation.
Well, it happens.
It happens.
It happens. Like I said,
and he got fined.
If you're gonna be there,
you have to accept it.
Yeah, sign an indemnity form before you enter.
That's into the ocean.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. The ocean indemnity form. Put it in a maritime law thing.
Oh, well, we got a lot of points that we need to send out to the people.
We should have been making minutes.
We've got a whole video for it.
Oh, well, there we go.
So a whole video for it. Yeah. We can even use this as an application for us. Just copy the link, and give them the title of like theory on this, this, and this. Go watch the YouTube video. Like and subscribe, and we'll come talk.
Ring that little bell, and you can come and talk. But yeah, I think we should wrap it up there because we're just coming to the end of our time. But thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for having me.
Time for a sparkling water and a passion fruit
and sparkling water.
I reckon that's a idea on the cards. But yeah, cheers, John.
Sounds good.
Catch you next time.
Cheers again.
Cheers again.
Oh, wait.